I'm Helen Beckett at the Business Value Exchange, and very pleased to have with us today Chris Airey, who is the Interim Chief Digital Officer at the Students' Loan Company currently and has formerly performed in many CXO roles. Welcome, Chris.
Good morning. Nice to talk to you, Helen.
Now, the CDO role has been in the press an awful lot and has been the topic of conversation around boardrooms. Should we hire one? Should they replace the CIO? Is it the same? Is it different? And you have the vantage place of having performed in both roles. Is it substantially different, the CDO role?
I think it depends whether the organisation is going to have one in addition to a CIO or instead of a CIO.
Mm-hmm.
So previously, I led a piece of digital strategy work at Admin Re, part of Swiss Re, and they still had a CIO, but I came in alongside the CIO, working for the CEO, and I was really looking at how we use digital to transform the customer experience.
Yeah.
So in that way, it was quite a complementary role, and the fact that I had a CIO background gave me a level of empathy for the CIO and meant that I framed my requirements of him in a way that were more likely to be supportable rather than just a challenge. However, at student loans, it's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
The CDO replaces the CIO, and therefore, whilst I've got all the interesting agile digital customer experience work, I've also got the running of the data centers. So in that sense, my focus is the digital transformation of public services. However, I can't forget to keep the lights on.
So it's kind of, you present it as a split between this kind of infrastructure, keeping the lights on, and the new kind of digital piece, customer experience, etc. So the interesting pieces, as you put it. That even if you were a CIO without a CDO sitting next to you, would it make you feel differently, think differently about how you treat business, data, customer experience? Because presumably the CIO has to do that anyway in some capacity if there's not the complementary person there.
Yeah, that's very true. I think really it's about an organisational statement of intent. So, for example, in the government, with the government digital service agenda, the creation of the CDO role is about that technologist starting to work with digital and with the business more closely to achieve digital transformation.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the primary objective. And in a secondary sense, you've still got to do a lot of the plumbing IT, if I call it that.
Mm-hmm.
So it is about a business statement of intent, and it is about having a technologist at the executive level who has that same mindset. So I think that's the real difference. I think a CIO is a broad role and treats many things equally, although all businesses have their priorities. But the statement of intent from the government is CDOs to focus on digital, and the rest is being relegated in terms of you need to do it well, you need to keep it secure, but the priority is transformation.
And it is very multifaceted, as you've explained very succinctly. What do you think is the CDO's biggest challenge right now in the government context where you're working?
There's two real things. One is about, I'll use the old word of business engagement. What we are trying to achieve through digital and through agile is breaking down those barriers, and they're particularly strong due to the invention of prints and CIO functions as suppliers, etc. And digital transformation is completely the other way around. It's about multidisciplinary teams and working together. Now, there's always been a lot of lip service about business and IT working well together. But to do agile, to do multidisciplinary, to do digital by default, you have to achieve it. And so that's the real hearts and minds transformation. The second piece is that you're promoting developers to be the core of your capability. And often in the past, the developers have been seen as the commodity at the end of an outsourcing contract. So that's the other way around. It's you don't outsource for risk anymore, you insource to deliver your services.
Okay, Chris, so it's a wide-ranging conversation today. Thank you for explaining those differences between the CIO CDO role, first and foremost, and some of the current transformation challenges within government. So many thanks for your time.
No worries.